Let's complete the debtors journal of Nardal Stores for March 2025. The second color I used for all my debtors journal transactions was green. So go back to exercise 2.1 where you highlighted all your transactions and go to the second color that you used. You will see that the dates were the 5th, the 12th, the 21st, and the 26th. On the 5th, it reads as follows. Credit sales to S. van Wyk as per credit sales invoice number 21, 78,400. So we know the document number will be 21. The debtor is S. van Wyk. It's debtor 3. The selling price is 78,400. And how do I calculate my cost price? I say 78,400 times 100 divided by 140, and then I get 56,000. Then on the 12th, credit sales of inventory to all three debtors, Fourie, Nel, and Van Wyk. So we're just going to carry on with numerical order 22, 23, and 24. Our three debtors is Fourie, Nel, and Van Wyk. Fourie is debtor 1, Nel is debtor 2, and Van Wyk is debtor 3. Fourie, the selling price is 32,200. We use our cost of sales formula times 100 divided by 140, and we get 23,000. Let's just skip Nel for now because it's a bit complicated. Van Wyk is also straightforward. It's 3640 is the selling price times 100 divided by 140 gives us 2,600. Now, in order to work out Nel, we're going to do a calculation. It says HNL 16576. This was outdated stock and 20% discount was granted. Now, when we calculate our cost price, we need to calculate it on our full selling price, which means the price before the discount. So if we were offered a 20% discount, it means that this price of 16,576 is only 80% of the value. 100% minus 20% gives you 80%. So now we need to work backwards to get the full 100% price. So 16,576 divided by 80% gives me 2720. So 2720 is my full selling price for this credit sale transaction. Now that I've got my full selling price, I can times it by 100, divide that by 140 to get my cost of sales price of 14,800 Rand. That is the amount that we will put in the cost of sales column. But remember, in our sales column, we always record the amount after the discount, which was 16,576. Now let's move on to the 21st. Credit sales of goods to S. van Wyk 35840. So it's number 25. Our debtor is S. van Wyk. It's debtor 3. 35840 in sales. And then we apply our cost of sales formula, and the answer is 25,600. Then on the 26th, the last entry, again credit sales of stock to all three debtors. So we are just going to carry on with our source document number. It's going to be 26, 27, and 28. Our first debtor is Fourie. Our second debtor is Nel. And our third debtor is S. van Wyk. Okay, Fourie is 16,100 in sales. We use our cost of sales formula and we get 11,500. Let's just skip Nel for now. Van Wyk is 7784. We use our cost of sales formula to get 5560 as our cost of sales. Nel is a bit more complicated. Let's go read what it says. Nel was 7820. So that was my selling price. But that is my selling price after I had sold goods at half price plus 1,000 Rand discount. So we have to calculate our full selling price in order to calculate our cost of sales. So The formula will be as follows. We are going to take 7820, which is the selling price after the 1,000 Rand after the discount. So first we're working backwards. So if we added 1,000 Rand to that 7820, we now need to subtract 1,000 to give us 6820. But then we went one step further. We also then sold goods at half price. So that 1,000 Rand, do you agree if it's half price, you divide it by 50%, which gives you 2,000. So our full selling price was 6820 plus 2,000, which is 8820. Now that we've got the full selling price, we times that by 100, divide that by 140, and then we get our cost of sales as 6,300 Rand. But remember, in our sales column, we always record the amount after all the discounts or allowances or anything granted, and that is 7820. We have now come to the end of our debtors journal. So the last step now is just to tally up the two the two columns to get our totals, because the totals goes through to our general ledger. So if you add up your sales column, you get 198,360, and if you add up your cost of sales column, you get 145,360. We know sales will go to N1 of our ledger account, but because it involves a debtor, it will also go to B6. Cost of sales will go to N2 of our ledger, but because we know cost of sales goes hand in hand with inventory, it will also go to B5. Now let's complete our debtors allowances journal. Debtors allowances journal, I used orange, so go back to your list of transactions and everything that you highlighted in your third color will be for your debtors allowances journal. The dates was the 10th and the 28th. So on the 10th it says, S. van Wyk returns goods with a value of 1680. Credit note number 23 is issued. So we're going to start with 23. Name of debtor was S. van Wyk. We know S. van Wyk is debtor 3. Our debtors allowances is our selling price, which is 1680. And our cost of sales, you're going to say 1680 times 100 divided by 140, and you will get 1,200. Then on the 28th, return of goods, B for re, 1820. So our next source document is number 24. Our debtor is B for re. B for re is debtor 1. 1820 under debtors allowances, which is our selling price, and 1,300 is our cost of sales. We get that by saying 1820 times 100 divided by 140. Then we also have HNL 2148. Included is 368, on which 20% discount had been granted. So we have to calculate our full selling price in order to be able to calculate our cost of sales. So it's going to be document number 25. HNL is the name of the debtor. Nell is debtor 2. Our debtors allowances will be the selling price after the discount given as 2148. But now we need to calculate our cost of sales. So it will have a calculation. First of all, we're going to take 2148 and we're going to subtract 368 because that was included and it should not have been. So then we get 1780. Then we're also going to say 368. We're going to work backwards. We're going to divide that by 80% because 20% discount was given on 368. So that gives us 460 Rand. Now to get our full selling price, we're going to say 1780 plus 460. Once we've got that answer, we can times it by 100 divided by 140, and then we get 1,600 as our cost of sales. Now we've completed all the entries that goes to our debtors allowances journal. So now we can tally up our debtors allowances column, which gives us 5648. We can add up our cost of sales column, which gives us 4,100. Debtors allowances will go to N3 of the ledger, as well as B6 because it is a credit sale return. Cost of sales goes to N2 of the general ledger, as well as B5 because we know cost of sales goes hand in hand with inventory. Let's complete the debtors ledger of Nadal Stores. Our first debtor, debtor 1, is Fourie. We already have an opening balance of 67,900 that was given to us under additional information number 1. Then wherever you see the name Fourie, you are quickly going to add it in date order. The first transaction that I'm reading Fourie is on the 7th. It says receive 55,000 Rand from Fourie as partial settlement of his account. So when a debtor settles an account, we know the journal involved is CRJ because we are receiving money. His account will decrease, so it will go in the credit column, 55,000. It's a duplicate receipt that will be issued. If you want to know the number, you will go back to your CRJ to get number 98. And now the balance is slightly less, 12,900. Then the next transaction that I see here something of Fourie is on the 12th. On the 12th, more credit sales of inventory took place, 32,200. So a credit sale will increase Fourie's debt. So the journal is debtor's journal. The amount will go in the debit column, 32,200. It is a duplicate credit sales invoice, number 22. And now the balance is slightly higher again, 45,100. Then on the 16th, we issued a receipt to Fourie as settlement of his account. So on the 16th, he decided to pay his account in full. So it will be credited. Now the balance is on 0. The journal involved is CRJ, and it's a duplicate receipt, 100. The next transaction was on the 26th. More credit sales of stock took place. Fourie, 16,100. So now his account will go up, it will be debited. The journal involved is DJ. Duplicate credit sales invoice is my source document under details. And now my balance is back on 16,100 Rand. Then on the 28th, Fourie returned stock to the value of 1820. A return is always recorded in my debtors allowances journal. A duplicate credit note will be my details. The return is 1820 credited. It will make his debt go down. And now my balance is 14,280. And then the last entry is on the 30th. Receive an amount of 13,000 Rand on account from B. Fourie. So cash receipts journal is my journal involved. He's making another payment, so his account is going down, so it will be credited. The details is a duplicate receipt 102. So now his final balance at the end of the month is 1280. The reason why I've made it in red is so that you know that this balance of 1280 is going to go to your debtors list at the bottom. Let's continue now with our second debtor, which is HNL, debtor 2. HNL starts with an opening balance of 72,000, and then if you quickly scan every time where you read Nell's name, it will be on the 2nd, the 12th, the 21st, the 26th, and the 28th. On the 2nd, it says, receive the outstanding amount from Nell, issue receipt number 97. So our journal is CRJ. It's duplicate receipt 97. The entire amount that he owes is 72,000. So he's settling his entire amount, so that will go in the credit column. And now his balance is on 0. Then on the 12th, it says, credit sales of inventory, HNL 16576. So we know DJ is the journal when a credit sale takes place. It is duplicate credit sales invoice number 23. Go back to the journal to see the number. The amount is 16576 in the debit column, and the balance is now 16576. Then on the 21st, it says receive 12,900 Rand from HNL as partial payment of his outstanding debt. So again, the journal is CRJ because he's settling some of his debt, so we're receiving money. His debt will go down. The partial payment that he is making is 12,900 Rand. So 12,900 in the credit column. It's a duplicate receipt 101. So now his balance is slightly less, 3676. Then on the 26th it says further credit sales of trading stock for and we've already recorded, we're busy with Nell 7820. So 7820 will be in the debit column. It's a credit sales, so my journal is DJ. It's a credit sales invoice number 27. And now my balance is higher again, 11,495. Remember, everything in the debit column you add, and everything in the credit column of a DJ ledger you subtract. And then our last entry is on the 28th. HNL returned goods to the value of 2148. When we have a return, we know our journal is our debtors allowances journal. A duplicate credit note will be issued. 2148 in the credit column, and now his final balance at the end of the month is 9348. Again, I've done it in red so that you know that this is the amount that's going to be transferred to your list at the bottom. Now let's complete the debtors ledger of our last debtor, debtor 3, S van Wyk. S van Wyk will start with an opening balance of 54,000. The first few transactions, if you scan through Van Wyk, it's on the 5th, the 9th, the 10th, the 12th, the 21st, the 26th, and the 30th. If we go back to the 5th, it says credit sales to Van Wyk, credit sales invoice 21,78,400. We know when a credit sale takes place, our journal is our DJ journal. It will increase his debt, 78,400. And it's a duplicate credit sales invoice that will be issued under details, and you go to your journal to see the number. In this case it's number 21. Now the balance owing is 132,400. Then on the 9th, receipt issued to S van Wyk for 30,000 as partial payment. So if S van Wyk is paying partially, you know the account is going to decrease. It's going to be in the credit column. We're receiving money, so it's CRJ. It's a duplicate receipt, number 99. Now the balance is down again, 102,400. Then on the 10th, S van Wyk returns goods with a value of 1680. We know that returns is logged in our DAJ journal. It also decreases the debtor's debt. A duplicate credit note will be issued under details. And now the balance is 100,720. Then on the 12th, credit sales of inventory S van Wyk, so more credit sales is taking place, so our journal is our DJ journal. Duplicate credit sales invoice will be issued. Number 24 will be found if you go back to your DJ journal. 3640 will be debited. So now the amount owing is 104,360. Then on the 21st, credit sales of goods to S van Wyk 35,840. So more credit sales is our DJ. Duplicate credit sales invoice is our details. 35,840 in the debit column. And now the balance is 140,200. Then on the 26th, we have S van Wyk credit sales 7784. So again, DJ is our journal involved. 7784 will be debited in the debit column. Duplicate credit sales invoice will be issued, number 28. And now the balance is 147,984. Then on the 30th, received 3,500 on account from S van Wyk. So our journal involved is CRJ. It's a partial payment. We will give a duplicate receipt 103. 3,500 will go in the credit column because the debtor is settling partially of his debt, so his balance will decrease. And now his end balance is 144,484. The reason why I've made it red is this is the balance that you will take to your list. If you go back to your list, you will see that we've already put Farie's balance of 1280, Nell's balance of 9348, and now we're going to enter Van Wyk's balance of 144484. We then add up our list to give us a total of 155112. This is the same balance of which your balance carry down for your debtors control must be to apply your double entry rule.